Previously on And You Thought It Was Safe. It's high time something that you utterly despise slithered its way out of the shadows. Suffering Sappho. Well, first thing I'm going to have to do is rewatch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2014, since I have no effective memory of that thing whatsoever. I remember liking Splinter's design. He finally looked enough like a rat to make people uncomfortable, and that was cool. And hating the Turtles' designs, because it seems like the filmmakers thought they could use flair, like Office Space flair, to make up for the fact that the Turtles only have one personality trait each. And I remember being surprised that there was only one gratuitous shot of Megan Fox's ass. But other than that, nothing to it but to do it. 1 hour and 40 minutes later. Well, that was awful. I look forward to forgetting all about it all over again. Paramount announced a sequel the Sunday after its release. And here we are, with 2 out of 3 of the same writers, and the same producers. Michael Bay's own Platinum Dunes. For a quick refresher, Nickelodeon bought the Turtles out in 2012, debuting a new TV series that just wrapped up after 5 seasons, and making these 2 films. Nickelodeon's owned by Paramount, which seems to have Michael Bay's heart in a jar somewhere, and they poke it with pins whenever they need a new cash injection. I don't know, you explain why there are 5 Transformers films. I gave up in 2011. So what is missing writer Evan Doherty? Doherty? Doherty. Sorry if I'm butchering your name, dude. I mean, I know how it is. You know, Demos here. But what's our missing writer doing with himself these days? Oh. And what's the previous film's director, Jonathan Liebsman, doing with himself? Oh. Got a job doing the Shannara TV show in the meantime. Huh. My old high school librarian is either on cloud 9 or he's full of the most exquisite nerd rage. So instead, we have the director of the already forgotten E.T. ripoff, Earth to Echo, Dave Green. And shout out to my fellow Dave, this is a vast and immediately noticeable improvement. Instead of all that bullshit Mr. Battle Los Angeles and Wrath of the Titans was on last time, we get nice, clean shots, lots of long takes, minimal shaky cam. In fact, whenever there's a stylistic flourish, like slow motion or speed ramping, I can tell that it's being done for reasons that are at least trying to service the story. What story there is to service. It's directed almost like a late 80s or early 90s sci-fi fantasy film of some description. A much better tonal fit for the Turtles and their now 30 years of life than all of those early 2000s horror movie remake / music video / car commercial aesthetics. And that's about the best thing I can say about this movie. Other than the Paramount logo at the start, with all the stars made of shurikens. That's kind of cool. But the rest of this movie can fuck right off. Seriously. Right away, it's exposition time, catching us up on the year between films. For some stupid reason, April and the Turtles agreed to let Vern take all the credit for stopping Shredder's attempt to gas New York City. So Vern's still a dick, but now he's a famous dick, so Will Arnett doesn't have to stretch too hard for this job. Plus, his being a dick allows him to display his secret heart of gold just in time for the 3rd act. Just like last time. Why else is he still here? I don't know. Oh wait, yes I do. It's because the people making this film thought we dumb humans out here in audience land needed some dumb human in this story to identify with. Ignoring the fact that we have 4 turtles in this story who are, potentially, much cooler than any dumb human could possibly be. If they ever got a chance to develop. Which they won't, because their movie is cluttered up with so many dumb humans. Just like the Transformers movies. So, Leo's still the kind of guy who reads X-Men comics and actually sympathizes with Cyclops. Raph's still the kind of guy who reads X-Men comics purely for Wolverine, and who was, I'm sure, very sad when he died. Donnie's still the designated geek, in charge of delivering the heroic end of the technobabble, and Mikey's still creeping on April. Dude, take a hint. She's just not that into you. You're like the annoying little brother she didn't even know she had until last year. Ugh. I think I just discovered a new level of creep to Mikey's creeping. Incest is not best, dude. Meanwhile, April's being a real investigative reporter. So at least she's moved forward. Somewhat. She lost her job in the last movie, and the scene where she got it back at the end got cut for time, apparently. So here at the beginning, she just seems to be freelance Shredder associate hunting. With what money? Oh wait, that's right. I'm not supposed to care about that. Here's Megan Fox in a schoolgirl outfit, and I'm supposed to care about that. Oh, but don't worry. It's for plot reasons. So that makes it better. And she will get her old job back at the end of this movie. So, yay? And where the hell is Whoopi Goldberg? Or am I the only one who cares? Ah well. Anyway, April's stalking respected but secretly mad scientist Baxter Stockman, who's played by Tyler Perry, of all people. And for some reason, he decided to play Baxter Stockman as an evil Neil deGrasse Tyson. Probably because Tyson's the one scientist people have seen on TV. Other than Bill Nye. Putting Stockman in here, and casting a black actor in the role, is an obvious sop to fans of those original Mirage comics. Giving him jack shit to do, beyond stand behind safety glass as he watches mutagen work, is a sop to no one beyond the people in Paramount who were looking for a sequel hook. After all, Stockman's only really known for two things: creating an army of robots, and fucking around with mutagen until he turns himself into a human fly. We get neither robots nor human fly in this film, and Stockman shunted off screen as soon as he's no longer needed to deliver the villainous end of the technobabble. Oh, but he signs off swearing revenge, so we can all look forward to that sometime around never. April's stalking Stockman because Stockman's planning to help Shredder escape during his upcoming prison transfer. Shredder's been held somewhere for over a year, and obviously got some major plastic surgery between films. Where'd all those scars go, dude? Hell, where'd they come from in the first place? Oh wait, I'm not supposed to care about that either. But I am supposed to care about Corrections Officer Casey Jones. After all, he's played by TV's Green Arrow, and he's played almost exactly the same way as TV's Green Arrow, though not as tortured or morally conflicted. So, even less interesting. Yay. Has Arrow even added the green back to his name yet? Or are they still being self-conscious about that? Honestly, I checked out after season 1, and I only stuck around that long because of Captain Jack. But whatever. Shredder's attempted escape doubles as a car chase, and a toy commercial for the new Turtle Van / garbage truck. But wait, you might say, didn't the last movie end with a turtle van that was actually a van? Yes. So, you might ask, why is it now a garbage truck with flame pipes on the sides? Well, I'd say, in response, we're now 10 years out from flaming decal Optimus Prime, so are you really that surprised at this point? I do like how Donnie's built everyone's signature weapons into the turtle garbage truck somewhere, and that very few of them work as intended. I don't like how the van mysteriously disappears after this chase sequence, since that underlines the whole $150 million toy commercial aspect of all of this. But then again, so does nearly everything else, including Krang, who teleports Shredder right out of the car chase in order to supply the villain plot for the remainder. For some reason, Shredder doesn't have his own villain plot, and for some other, probably equally absurd reason, he instantly trusts this giant alien brain monster from another dimension that he's just met, and follows Krang's instructions to the letter. Shredder must gather 3 pieces of 8. Oh, wait. No. Different franchise commercial. I'm sorry. I mean, 3 pieces of a dimensional portal scattered across the Earth. Together they will combine into something Krang calls the Arc Capacitor. And this will allow Krang to teleport his mobile weapons platform, the Technodrome, into the middle of New York City. Why can't he just teleport the damn thing over himself? Might as well ask how he can teleport a supervillain right out of traffic. Or why he'll only be able to bring the Technodrome through 1 piece at a time. The only answer is the in-real-life answer, which is that this is an obligatory paint-by-numbers sequel made by people who didn't give a fuck. And assumed none of the rest of us gave a fuck either, as long as they put in enough brand signifiers. Hence, this most video game excuse for a villain plot I've seen outside of an actual video game. Gather 3 MacGuffins to advance to the next fight scene. Supplied by the worst version of Krang I've ever seen, period. Even the one in Turtles Forever is better than this. He's not the Krang here, or the Utrom, whatever you want to call them, whatever they call themselves. He's not the world-conquering species of brain aliens who want to strip mine Earth for all its resources. Like the 50s B-movie Alien Invaders that they were explicitly conceived to satirize. Nor is Krang the other half of a comedy double act with Shredder, like he was in the cartoon that this is pretending to be. Once he gives Shredder his marching orders, he teleports old Chrome Dome back to our world, and never checks in to micromanage. Not even once. At one point, Krang says, "Family is for weaklings," which is kinda the antithesis of the Ninja Turtles. But that's about all he gets for character. He's just the villain, and we're supposed to be happy he's here. Like an old friend who fell on hard times that we meet unexpectedly doing some random job, like jockeying the register at the corner coffee place. Plus, Arc Capacitor sounds like something I'd come up with after passing out during a Indiana Jones Back to the Future double bill. And I have no reason to believe that isn't exactly what happened to this filmmaking team. In fact, this Krang's little more than a replacement for our last main villain, Sachs. And where the fuck is he anyway? Sure, Vern hit him over the head with a microscope, and that can kill somebody if your aim is true. Don't try it at home, kids. But if he's not dead, he's still the billionaire industrialist, head of his own company, who aided and abetted his surrogate ninja dad in almost deploying a weapon of mass destruction over Times Square. So, where the fuck is he? Guantanamo? Come on, he's too rich and white to be in Guantanamo. So is he in some posh halfway house for white-collar criminals somewhere? The kind of place that lets you wander the streets by day, as long as you wear an ankle bracelet and report back in by 8 p.m.? Or are we just supposed to pretend he never existed? At least the last Turtle surprised me by being a wholesale ripoff of The Amazing Spider-Man. Wasn't a pleasant surprise, but it kept me from clocking out. It had one thread I could follow to its dumb, obvious conclusion. This one's got too many threads, and none of them are woven into anything. They all dangle, and most of them are left to dangle for the duration. So in the last movie, April's dad and Sachs developed a green ooze that turned normal animals into humanoid versions of themselves, and potentially cured the plague, nerve gas, whatever the fuck it was Shredder was going to unleash on New York. In this movie, Krang gives Shredder purple ooze, which turns normal humans into humanoid animals. And, as Donnie discovers about midway through, turns humanoid animals into normal humans. Everybody got that? Good. Next time, we're gonna have red ooze, and it's gonna turn everybody into fucking phoenixes or something. Like I thought the Ether was gonna do with Natalie in Thor 2. And Jesus Christ, Donnie. You don't test weird extra-dimensional mutagens on yourself first. Find some fucking test subjects if you're so eager. Even Stockman knows that much. And how the hell does anybody grow 2 extra digits on their hand without it hurting? Nothing hurts an old Cronenberg fan like me more than a missed opportunity for some good old-fashioned body horror. But Bebop and Rocksteady, cry the children of the village. Yes, they're here, finally. And their enthusiasm for life, both as minions of the Shredder and as anthropomorphic animals, is infectious. For a while. They're so damn close to their 1987 cartoon counterparts. Bumbling, idiotic, but obviously very good friends. That they wind up in the uncanny valley, which is odd, since everything else in this film is trying so hard to be, well, I don't want to say realistic. Realist would be a better term, though I get that that'll be a distinction without a difference to some of you out there in internet land. How best to illustrate this? Realist is when you draw, either by hand or with computers, your idea of what a 6-foot-tall anthropomorphic Ninja Turtle would really look like, and then put that on top of live-action footage of them explaining themselves to the NYPD, let's say. Realistic would be doing the same thing, but having the NYPD shoot them on sight before they even manage to get a word out. No matter whether or not a celebrity journalist vouched for them. Do you see the difference? But then again, the discovery that they were bulletproof was a big dramatic moment in the last movie, so why the fuck are they even worrying about the NYPD? Respect your local police isn't a message you'd find in a Turtles film. It's a message you'd find in a Turtles commercial for Pizza Hut. And I don't want to see anybody talking shit about the cartoons in order to prop up this shit movie. Every Turtles cartoon we have to date has been better than this. Been better written, better directed. There's been more character development, better character interactions, better Turtles fight scenes. Jesus. Yes, even the 87 series. Bebop and Rocksteady are the perfect examples. On the latest show, their cartoon counterparts got to go through a whole character arc. Complete with a redemptive moment at the end. When they realized, dumbasses though they may be, they are planet Earth's dumbasses, born and bred, and they be damned if they're gonna let some space brain take over the place where they keep all their stuff. Here, they're just dumbasses. Full stop. And boredom can cure even the most infectious enthusiasm. Then there's April, who becomes completely superfluous once she sets the Turtles on the plot. Just like last time, but worse. Which means, every time the film cuts back to her to remind us that she exists, I get to say something like, "Come on, April. You stabbed Shredder in the fucking face last time, girl. You should be much more badass than this." Michaela Baines, your character from the Transformers movies, was much more badass than this. At least in the first one, when she got stuff to do. I don't want to be the guy who keeps saying to Megan Fox, "You did your best work when you played the non-canonical daughter of Nicolas Cage's character from Gone in 60 Seconds. And that one time you played a succubus." But here we are. And here she is, sharing screen time with new Casey, who's even more superfluous. I didn't even remember he got to take down Bebop and Rocksteady until just now. Because I'm rewatching the end of the film as I edit this together, for all the good it's doing me. God damn it! My initial notes also include the line, "They almost got it." But that's wrong. They look like they almost got it, because this film crassly recycles 30-odd years of Turtles iconography and waters it all down into the most tasteless mush possible. It's the kind of movie that makes you wonder whether the thing you liked was ever good to begin with. Of course, the Turtles were good, are good, but Paramount didn't buy them out because they're good. They did it because the Turtles are a recognizable brand name, with 30 years of history to strip mine, and 30 years of fans to ply for money. Some of whom have even gone on by now to make their own smaller fans? Children! I lost the word there. Children. And why must those children drown in the toxic runoff of our nostalgia? Especially since, with any luck, they've been watching and or reading much better Turtles material in the 2 years between these films. Like the 2003 cartoon, or the 2011 IDW comics, or hell, the 1987 cartoon, even at its worst. All of these are available on various and sundry home media by now, and they're all better than this. Personally, I'm gonna go watch the last 3 episodes of the series that just concluded, so I can remind myself that good things can actually come out of this franchise. And then I'm gonna start saying the fanboy prayer for the new series that's due out next year. Please, gods, don't let it suck.